Welcome back into the world of fantasy writing. Today we're going to be talking about another way to generate ideas for fantasy by considering setting. Yesterday we talked about considering real life events that we could make more fantastical, and today we're going to be thinking about where our stories take place. So, I want to teach you that fantasy writers often consider settings to develop possible story ideas. You can think about three different types of settings. First, an in our world setting. So maybe a fantasy version of this is, well, what would happen if we were sitting in math class and an elf popped out of his pencil case? What would happen? That would be something that would happen in our world, right? That our setting, just our real world with magic coming in. What if our setting was built upon portals to another world? Well, maybe Finn opens his backpack to find himself transported into a castle made entirely of school supplies. Or you could have a setting that is based entirely in a fantasy world, like Finn lives in a village in a thatched cottage where everyone rides unicorns. If you think to our reading lesson, when we were thinking about setting, in our world, that would be like Harry Potter, right? Where it's our normal world and then some magic kind of starts creeping in. If you think about the portals, that clip from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Chronicles of Narnia, right? She goes through the portal into Narnia. And then something that is based entirely in a fantasy world, you can think of that Lord of the Rings clip. So your task today is going to be to brainstorm 3 different types of stories based on the provided setting. Now remember, you want to be collecting a lot of different story ideas right now because you're going to choose one of those ideas to take through the writing process. So you have this attached to today's assignment, and you're going to see that there's those examples, and that should say if Finn was sitting in math class, right? Just ignore that typo. But there's those 3 examples. And then you have our setting in our world. Okay, what might that idea be? I don't know why there was a type there, type here. So in our world setting, based entirely in a fantasy world, and then based upon a portal. So you're coming up with 3 additional story ideas today using these 3 settings. I am so excited. I cannot wait to see what you come up with, writers. I look forward to talking to you about your story ideas.